Welcome to GREYS, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Jason Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of GREYS.
Thank you very much, Pete. Good morning, punters. Welcome along to GREYS on this Thursday morning, the 3rd of April 2025. David Shortte with you. Hope you're travelling particularly well and are looking forward to a busy program. We'll catch up with the Shane Train Williams. Jason Campbell will join us. We'll head across to Melbourne and get the latest from Neil Brown looking at tonight's Sandown program. The SA Chasing Report with Sean Matheson, and rounding it out in what is a very busy time across there in New South Wales with the Golden Easter Egg semi-finals, Association Cup heats as well there on a Saturday night at Wentworth Park. Simon Orchard will join us to have a look at all of the action there. But without further ado, let's welcome in the man that will be going into Saturday night's feature final at Cannington with the nominal favourite in Ripon Moses. We speak of the Shane Train Williams, who now joins us. Good morning to you, Train.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners.
Nice to be catching up with you, and no doubt plenty of excitement in the camp this week. The Lou Dawson Memorial Trophy Final, always one of the time-honoured feature races of the year here in WA. It's always an honour to have a runner in the final, let alone a favourite, and Ripon Moses is exactly that dog as we speak, coming off that tremendous performance in the heat, dropping a 29.6.
Yeah, really exciting, Shorties. He turned it around from the week before and was put in an ordinary performance, but yeah, we just tinkered with a few things through the week and, yeah, got it right. So we won't change nothing this week. And, yeah, looking forward to the challenge on Saturday night. It's an even sort of a race, Shorty. There's plenty of chances. But, yeah, we'll be doing our best, that's for sure.
Indeed. Everything been good at home this week with the dog? Happy dog heading into Saturday night?
Yeah, really good. Last week with the hot weather, we sort of backed off all the dogs at home because it was very hot. So he sort of only had the 2 to 3 gallops through the week. And we've done the same this week, so just trying not to change anything from last week, keep it all the same, and because he does need to get the start right to get out in front. That's when he does his best racing, and you know, he's got to cross Cody Charles's pairing 3 and 4. I think they're the early speed factor in the race, and then, like I said previously, early in the week, that then you've got to look out for the run-on dogs like Weston Booney and Bezecchi, and I'm awfully scared of Bezecchi, to be honest. I think he's ready to produce something, and Paul Stewart gets him right on these big final nights. And it's got a really good draw, Bezecchi. It's got slow beginner to its outside and the dog in forward that likes to head to the fence. So one day, if he ever jumps, we've seen his ability. He's run 29.11 at Wentworth Park. So, yeah, he's the smoky for mine.
Yeah, really interesting because we heard from Paul Stewart not that long ago on TAB radio with Diggers and Tim on the Sports Daily, and he actually gave quite a nice push for the dog drawn outside of Ripon Moses, Rapido Jedi, who will get a lovely run over. He likes the fact that he's drawn wide with a bit of room to operate, and he favoured Rapido Jedi over Bezecchi. Price-wise, it's a little bit better. But, if you're looking to put some thoughts together and novelties on the night, make sure you don't leave out the pink. I thought that was a pretty decent push from Paul this morning.
Shorty, them dog trainers are bad judges, mate. You know that.
Oh, well, speaking of one of the best in the business right now, come on, Train. Now, mate, it's one thing you do when you have a look at Ripon Moses and the recent form lines. The last 5 runs beaten by Morton, Vincent Bale, Sunset Hornet, who we saw win a heat of the Golden Easter Egg there on Saturday night, Wise Barra, and then you butted up and beat Weston Booney. It's as hot a form lines as any dog going around at the moment. He's really run into some very smart types through the carnival period.
Yeah, he's really hit his straps the last 6 or 8 weeks, and sort of we've needed to him to do that, Shorty, because we've had some dogs on the sidelines at home, and we haven't been racing that many. And although the kennel's still going quite well, we just haven't had many racing at the track. And he's just put his hand up week in, week out to sort of run well and earn prize money and then pay the meat bill. So couldn't be more proud of the way he's going. And yeah, if he can reproduce what he did last week, he's going to be right in the finish. But we need him to do that this week for sure because yeah, it's like I said, it's an even race and there's plenty of chances.
Yeah, that's the truth. Speaking of dogs that have been watching on, the Kennel Star in Iconic Jet, what's the latest there?
Yeah, he's back in work, and we're going to trial him on Saturday morning at Mandurah. So, look, he's going to be Mr. Sandgroper. He's just not going to be 100%. And the field that's already engaged in that race, you want to be 100% to win that. So we're just going to take the back door and go to the Mandurah Derby, which is on the night after the heat. That's the last age-restricted race that these dogs are eligible for, this litter. So we're just going to go that way. And he's still got a couple of trials to get through under his belt before we get there. But all signs are showing very promise at home with the way he's galloping. And he's very sound at the moment. So we'll know more after Saturday. But, yeah, we'll have a spin around on Saturday and see how we go and aim up at the Mandurah Derby.
All right, now speaking of the Sandgroper, I had a chat yesterday on Wednesdays on the West with Miles Fitzner and Gareth Hall about the Sandgroper, and the G-Man made the point that he's hearing that Explicit will be taking up that slot, and that reflects in betting. Explicit's now the $4 favourite to win the Sandgroper. We know just how talented this dog is. Of course, Jason Thompson knows exactly where you need to have dogs to win these big features, and the punters have stepped in, so it's a $4 chance. Yet to be permanently announced, though, as taking a slot. Miss Envy has got a slot. It's at $5. Deadly Avenger, the Perth Cup winner, has got a slot. It's at $7. Mapunga Tully is also a $7 chance yet to have a slot. Tim Zoo announced with the slot at $8. Kenya All Class, of course, with the Mint Bet slot as a $10 chance. Then we're out to Flying Zulu at 11, Smooth Plain 13, Morton 13, Lakeview Emily 15, Vincent Vale 15, $16 for Field Day, 17 for Western Sydney, Boracay Summer Good Odds Cobber, and it's 18 and upwards from there. Obviously, got to be a little bit wary knowing exactly which dog's going to get a spot in the series if you're going to step in. But what do you make of that particular market as it sits right now?
Yeah, well, I think we touched on it last week. Explicit is the worst kept secret in greyhound racing. It's probably obviously the reason why it's back in work. And for dogs like him, Shorty, you know, stud dogs, you don't want them to go in heat and finals. If you can get them straight in these finals, like for instance, the Sandgroper, the Shootout, the Top Gun, the Phoenix, races like that, just when you can pick and choose, I think it's not a bad idea for him to mix business with pleasure. We did also hear through the week that Mapunga Tully's now a little bit doubtful after a trial, so I had her penciled in, so that's another problem there for Team Britain and Total Container Solutions. And I've heard that the Ram boys are over in Sydney this weekend trying to get a dog that doesn't get through to the Easter egg final, Shorty. So I'm sure they'll have something over the next week or so in their slot. So that probably only just leaves Chase Bet, and I'm not sure what angle they're looking at. So, yeah, it's all going to finally, the puzzles will fill. But, yeah, we just got to wait patiently till probably, 2 weeks before when they're all here trialling and getting ready for it.
Oh, the build-up's enormous. So exciting. Can't wait for the big one, the Sandgroper, only a couple of weeks away now, punters. The excitement is building, that is for sure and certain. More excitement, obviously, Saturday night across there, Wentworth Park. We've got some very good representation from a WA perspective. We've got Association Cup heats as well, which are always really, really exciting. Some of Australia's best stayers will be there strutting their stuff. The Galaxy winner, Ethanol Waters, going around. We know the dog's been there and raced well in the past. Groove Bird, who was just beaten in our own Galaxies there again. Max Capacity we get to see going around, and the dog arrives in really good form. It's been going great guns. You did allude to the point that Lewis may get this dog travelling and in the care of Pete Lagosiani, who knows what it's like to look after a good dog going into a big series as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's them heats of the Association Cup are really good. Even the track was obviously very slow last week, Shorty. We've seen Sunset Hornet lead all the way in 30 and 20, and the run-home time was on the pedestrian side, but that was mainly due to all the rain they had in all the tracks. So he could be a big improver this week. He's got box one in his semi-final. And the dogs we put out last week for the pre-post have got through as well, Shorty. Furness, and the other one was Power and Glory. So anyone that took the odds, them, there's still a chance this week. We've got to run top two to get into the final next week.
I've got some bad news for you about Furness. Just having a look at the second golden Easter egg. It is out off the inside draw, okay. So that leaves the door ajar for poor Petrov or to come in there on Saturday night. So I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news in that space, but it is an early scratching for the semi-final race number 7 there, Furness, out of box number 1 on Saturday night. Sunset Hornet draws 1 in the third of the semi-finals, a $6 chance. The Star Victorian, Lakeview Emily at $2.10. Miss Envy's hoping for a scratching in that particular semi-final to sneak into the field and get an opportunity. But good luck to all concerned. And, of course, Big Energy was excellent again last week as well. What a wonderful campaigner he's been for Connections.
What did you think was the best performance there last week, Shorty, in your opinion?
I thought it was pretty even. Jungle Johnny's a dog that I've been really impressed with right the way through what we've seen. Big Energy had to be up there with one of the more impressive performances. And Lakeview Emily, I thought likewise, probably between that trio was really taken by all of their efforts. And it's a wide open series. It's certainly not a straightforward sort of scenario when you talk about these series. And any time Jason Mackay's got a young dog going into a big series like this, you have to pay enormous respect to them as well. I thought Kisses for Grand was excellent up in grade, just runs those dazzling early splits and sets its races up. So, yeah, I think there's a number of winning hopes still as we get to the semi-final stage of the egg.
Yeah, it's pretty even, isn't it? Just looking at the semi-finals now, there's really not a short price favourite there. So, very open, and you'd still probably get a bit of value if you like something to win the final.
Yeah, indeed. And the other really exciting piece of news, something a little bit different, it's all happening over there in Queensland. The Q1 Lakeside meeting gets underway tomorrow, 11:49, and this has been a long time in the coming, but has created a lot of excitement up there in Queensland. Great for them to have some new facilities to work with.
Yeah, really looking forward to that, Shorty. It's on their first meeting on Friday. They've got 3 tracks all on the one complex. They've got a 1-turn track, a 2-turn track, and a straight track. So great news for the industry there. And I think when that gets up and running, there'll be no more Ipswich in Albion Park. Is that correct?
I'm not 100% sure of what closures take place when it's all up and unrolling, but I do know that there was the major reason for the heavy investment is in this facility was to free up opportunities for development at other venues. So, yeah that may well be the case.
Yeah, well, I know Albion Park, it was something needed there for the Olympics, and I think the showgrounds there at Ipswich have shut the dogs off as well. So I'm pretty sure once the queue's up and running, that'll be the main facility. It's still got other tracks there, obviously, right up north, and Capalaba as well. So, yeah, Rockhampton and Townsville. So, yeah, no, really interesting, and they got a carnival coming up, so obviously going to see some good dogs there through winter as well.
Yeah, big time. That's all to look forward to over the next little bit. But before that, we need to build a bit of a bank up for this massive weekend upcoming. 12-race card this evening at Mandurah. Take us through your thoughts and where we should be having a bet this evening at the Coastal Circuit.
Yeah, you're going to kick it off, Shorty. Race 4, number 1, Liberty Star. Bounced back to the winner's circle last week in brilliant fashion. As we know, Shorty, breaking the 17-second barrier is always a good run, 16.98. And it's done it from this very draw. As we know, it's a super hot run, gets a slow beginner drawn to her outside in box 2, and was just simply asking for a rinse and repeat job from last week. Things should be hard to beat. Race 4, number 1, be my best bet of the night, Liberty Star.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I thought it was most impressive there last week, and as you've alluded to, if it can run similar fractions, they'll be battling to keep up, so good luck to Rocket Rod Noden tonight there with a Liberty Star. Second of your plays?
Yeah, race 5, number 1, Linguini Manelli. He's one of my dogs. He's dropping in grade here out of the Kenyana Cup Heats back to a country grade 4-5. He does lack early speed, though, but he's very strong late and just need to get a little bit of luck through that first turn. And I think he might do that with Midnight Mass in box 2. He does like to shift off early, so there'll be a gap there for him to take if he wants to. And I think 5 and 8 are the hardest to beat there, but with any luck at all, I think Linguini Manelli will be flashing home late and can grab him at the back end of the race, race 5, number 1.
All right, so the train sticking with the pastor dog, Linguini Manelli, to arrive off box number 1 in race number 5. And the third of your plays?
Yeah, race 9, number 4 is one of ours, Shorty, Edith Hook. She's only tiny, but one thing she possesses is great early box speed, and her first splits are normally breathtaking. She loves the track and trip. She's down slightly in grade from 3-4 back to a grade 3-4. And when that happens, she normally cashes in. I think she can jump lead and win race 9, number 4, Edith Hook.
Yeah, and the form line's still there in recent runs to let us know that Edith's going quite nicely. Runner-up 2 back behind Obsessed Much, who's always hard to beat over the 381. The time was good, 21.82, and only 4 back when drawing box 5 in grade 4, defeated Kevin's Wayne 17.01. Anytime you're in or around that 17 flat range, you're tracking well. You're right, it's a dog that does relish the downgrade, and I think you might have just found a nice play for the punters there with that one too. Race 9, number 4, Edith Hook. So we've got race 4, number 1, Liberty Star. Race 5, number 1, Linguini Manelli. And race 9, number 4, Edith Hook. The 3 best bets for the Shane Train this evening there at Mandurah. Train, great catching up there this morning here on Great Greys. We'll be tuned in tomorrow morning with Digby and Tim on the Sports Daily just after 6:30. Have a ripper weekend and all the very best with Rip and Moses in the feature on Saturday night, mate. Hope you can get the cash.
Yeah, thanks very much, Shorty. Much appreciated, and all the best to the punters out there.
Beautifully done. The Shane Train Williams with us this morning here on TAB Radio, where it's now 17 minutes after 10. David Shortte and Matt McDermott with you. With the abandonment of the program at Ipswich today, we just have the one race for broadcast through the show today. It comes up in 7 minutes' time there at Wyong. It is race number 2 there, the Ash and Sons Midsway 2 and 3-year-old maiden handicap over the 1,000 metres. And we've got Lady Pankhurst for Rachel King, our $2.20 favourite out from $1.95. The money's been very good for Oakfield Jupiter. The Damien Lane trained 3-year-old Toronado filly. She's $4.40 into $2.35. Pearl de Chocolat, $4.80 out to $6. Brazen Honour, 13 out to 14. Kissabos has been 10 to 15. Artistic Flair, 15 to 21. Cold Mist, 71 into 61. And Valorizada is 126 into 101. Pretty clear cut here. The move has been very strong for the second in the market. That is Oakfield Jupiter, $4.40 into $2.35. That's race number 2 from Wyong. Comes up in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Time though now to catch up with Jace Campbell, have a look at all of the latest in Queensland chasing, as well as try and find some winners for the meeting in Tasmania for tonight. He now joins us on the program. JC, great to have your company. How do we find you on this Thursday?
Yes, cannot complain, Shorty. How are you, mate?
Going really well, thank you, mate. Just finished having a chat to the Shane Train and all of the Australian chasing public looking forward to the opening of the Q1 facility tomorrow there. The first meeting, race number 1 gets underway 11:49 WA time, but no doubt there's plenty of excitement with this new complex opening up there in Queensland.
Yeah, 100%. It was obviously good to see during last week and I think the week prior they were trialling on that track, and Bunny Brash was posting a few videos on Facebook, and it looks like everything's ticking over well. A lot of dogs that are racing tomorrow have trialled there in the lead up to it, and I was just about to dig into it now, Shorty. I've finished everything I need to do for today, so I was looking forward to tomorrow and hopefully I can find a few winners there.
Love it, love it. Looking forward to seeing it and how it comes up as well on Sky there tomorrow. But before that, we need to build a little bit of a little bank for the weekend of chasing upcoming. Let's see if we can't find a few winners at Albion Park and Hobart tonight. Who are you keen on?
We're going to kick off in race 1 at Albion Park, playing the 4 here, Zipping Gatsby. He was favourite last week in this same fixture, and he just failed to begin, and from box 1 he got crossed quite easily. I think getting out to box 4 is a massive positive for this dog, and he's got to get a little bit of extra room to move. There's a vacant box in box 6, and the dog in box 5 I don't think will worry him too much early. Looks like he will hold his line there, jaywalking. Summer's Edition probably leads this race up, but I think Zipping Gatsby, as long as he can get to second or third, we saw him run her down very easily a couple of starts ago. So if he can just get within about 3 lengths of her down the back straight, I think he'll be too strong in the first race.
Like it. The blue rug in the first, race 1, number 4, Zipping Gatsby. And then we go a little bit deeper into the program for your best bet of the night.
Race 7, number 6, Tarawai Buster. He has been a really consistent dog since rising to this 520 metres at Albion Park. He's had 12 starts over this track and trip now for 4 wins and 5 placings. Has placed in his last 3 outings behind the likes of Star Turn, Yuno Nangar and Danger Zone. I think he'll be feeling really well not seeing any of those 3 runners in this race tonight. I think it's a massive drop in class, even though he obviously still remains in fifth grade company. Box 6 is no drama at all with this greyhound. He's won both his starts off this draw, and he's got a little bit of speed underneath him, which should bring him into this race, and he is strong at the back end of 500 metres.
Alrighty, so race 7, number 6, Tarrawai Buster, the best bet to go along with race 1, number 4, Zipping Gatsby. And then we head down to Tasmania, program there at Hobart tonight. Who are you liking down there?
Yeah, 11 races down at Hobart. Found a bit of a tricky meeting. There's a few dogs on resumption that have a lot of ability. Dealer especially going on later in that program, but he's probably drawn the wrong side of the track for him. So I was sort of looking to bet around him later in the program. But we'll head off to race 2 first of all. Made this the best bet on the program, number 4, Nitro Ace. All of his running has been at Launceston to date. I don't think the large track at Hobart will be too bad for this dog. I think he's obviously a bit of a large animal. He's 33 kilos, 4-dog field. Not really much in this race. Barnsley takes up a lot of market percentage. I haven't seen a lot from this greyhound in his 2 starts. Admittedly, he gets his chance from box 1 tonight in a small field to show his best, but he has also had a trial in slow time, which is public for everyone to see. So I think Nitro is just coming out of those stronger races in the Breeders' Cup down there at Launceston, and I think he'll be too strong in that 4-dog field.
Alrighty, so we'll stick with Nitro Ace off the blue. Very clever trainer too. Paul Hill, he does a great job with his team. And the second of your plays for tonight at Hobart?
Yeah, race 8, number 2, Highgate Alcy. Just place only for this bitch. I know she's obviously very short at a place price of around that $1.40, $1.50 mark. However, she has placed in all her 12 starts over this track and trip. She does have a mind of her own a little bit, Shorty, as we saw. I guess it's great looking at her last 2 starts. She's run second by 0.1 in 25.73, and then she's followed up with running second last week in 26.17 when the track was playing probably faster even that week. So she does like to loom up that leader and sort of chase it throughout. I think she gets a chance here. As mentioned, dealer even money in this market. Not really sure where he's at. Definitely the best dog in his field, but can be a bit tidy out of the boxes and does want to get back to the fence. I think the red good boy will lead this race up for a very long time, and Highgate AFC will track him throughout. Obviously, as I mentioned, not a huge price, but definitely one you can bump up your multis or definitely add to your second and third for your exotics.
Big time. 12 for 12. Say no more. $1.40 a place about something that's 12 for 12 is very acceptable, and certainly no problems there. Track and trip. And yeah, just you wouldn't want to be chips in from a win perspective, but you can be chips in from a place perspective with little Elsie. So hopefully he can get the job done for us tonight. They're into a ticky once again. These are dogs that are very valuable. We've spoken a lot over the years on different programs we've been on, JC, about the importance of dogs like this that you can anchor up in trifectas and first fours that very rarely miss sort of second and third in their races. They're often at quite good prices. They are regularly more valuable than the short price favourites that win, because everybody finds them, but not everybody finds the dogs that run places regularly, and they can help to jack up novelties. And hopefully that'll be the case tonight there with Highgate Alcy. JC, punters tuned in that would like to follow your handiwork, where you find a stack of winners. How do they go about it?
Just over on X at Campbell Jason. And yeah, I'll be dropping a few previews tonight for Hobart and Albion Park.
Love your work, JC. Appreciate your time as always here on Great Greys, mate. Have a ripper weekend. Look forward to our chat next week.
Thank you, Shorty. Good luck, listeners.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Well, it's 27 minutes after 10. Time to catch up with our Hall of Famer Neil Brown to have a look at this program at Sandown for this evening. No doubt pretty happy too. Saints are on a bit of a roll. Hello, Brownie.
How you going, David? Yes, back-to-back wins. How about that? Not unexpected, perhaps, David. Anyway, got a terrific meeting at Sandown tonight. 8 heats of the time-honoured launching pad, the first run in 2003. Gee, it's produced some fantastic youngsters over the years that have gone on and carved out great careers, haven't they, David?
Big time, yeah. Always one of my favourite series each and every year, Brownie. Generally unearths a dog that is set for a really, really bright future, and I'm sure this year's series will be no different. Very much looking forward to seeing, as the night goes on, some of these different dogs, and of course representation from South Australia as well, which has always added a little bit to this series.
Yes, so we've got 8 heats. We finished up almost making our number, and a bit of a sign of the times, I suppose, but it's very competitive, and some very smart greyhounds engaged that have performed very well before they've got into the series with a 1-6 win. The ratio they have to fall into as part of the conditions. But it's a good card tonight, David, and we kick off with the early quad race number ones over the 595 for the mixed stake 4th and 5th graders. I thought Zipping Kai was the class dog here of the field. He's well drawn. I think he's the one to beat. I'm going to take 2 and 3 as well, so I think the winner will come from those 3 inside drawn greyhounds. Race number 2, fairly open race, a mixed 4th and 5th grade over the 515. I went 6-4-2 here. Honey's in, very impressive at the Meadows, leading all the way at its last start, and I think it might be the greyhound to beat. We're going to take 4 and 2 as well. Race number 3, first heat of the launching pad. 2 very smart youngsters engaged here. I made it 2, 7 and 4. Just thought Valenzuela was probably the best drawn of these 2 standouts from Zap Deverne, and who's been very, very impressive. So I'm going to take 2, 7 and 4 in that race number 3. Second heat, rounding out the early quad. Second heat of the launching pad's a really good race. 4, 1 and 6 I'm going to take here. Tribeca. Gee, hard to look past him. He's won his last 4. He's bred in the purple, this greyhound. 4 and 2 from 6. And, I think he's the one to beat. I'm going to take 1 and 6 as well in that early quad. So trying to keep it with 3 in each of those early legs. Going to the main quad, David, this is heat number 3 of the launching pad, and another good race. I'm going to take 4, 3 and 8. Got 4 on top, Needful. It raced back last year and had quite a layoff. Last raced in August, and then has returned to racing late in March there with a trial at Geelong, and then a very impressive best of the night win at Shepparton. So I've got Needful on top, but certainly a chance to Extreme Wheels, won 5 of 7, all here at Sandown Park. It's got some early pace, and I thought number 8 also, Shimmer Shine, to be competitive. May need a little bit of luck from out there, but is a nice type. So 4, 3 and 8 in the first leg of the main quad. Race number 6, pretty even heat, this heat 4 of the launching pad. I'm going to take 4, 6 and 7. I've got 4 on top. Don Gala Jesse, 5 and 4 from 10. Quick early, looks the leader, and I think in this competitive heat the leader might be the one to catch. Certainly the 6 a chance. Wyong Dallas won his last 3 at the Meadows. He's got heaps of early pace as well. He's going to be in this. And number 7, Port Tory, I think needs a bit of luck, but does get back and run on, but has got plenty of ability. 5 and 7 from 16. It's quite a bit of experience going into a launching pad. Race number 7, it's a pretty good race. Again, a competitive heat, 8, 1 and 4. I've got Gambella on top, very short, super run here of 29.04. Was a terrific performance on the 20th of March. Free-for-all class, back to pups tonight. I think he's the one to beat. Did win from box number 4. The red's got a chance. Ashton Rayner, well drawn, could lead here. It has won in 29.22, and box 1 tonight, another nice type. I'm going to take the 4-year runner, Xavier. Has won here in 29.36, gets back but runs on. So 8, 1 and 4. Rounding the quaddie off with heat number 6, I'm going to take 4, 8 and 2. So we're taking 3 in each of the legs of the quaddies, 2 quaddies tonight. I've got number 4 on top, Come to Party. Has shown some early pace. One here in 29.40 from box 7 was a good effort last week. Behind Vincent Bale was a pretty solid effort run last week. The 8, Zipping Sweeney, has trialled well here, 29.49, and 4 from 6 with best of the nights at Angle Park and at Albion Park and Ipswich in Queensland. So the Queensland is a chance, I reckon. And number 2, Select Chiron, I'm going to take as well. Drawn okay, lead all the way here from box number 7 in 29.60. So a good race, 4, 8 and 2 to round the quaddie out. The other 2 heats, I thought race 9, number 4, would be hard to beat. She's That Girl, pretty short price. I think they're quoting about $1.55, $1.60. And I thought Milton Cranberry off the red would win heat number 8. Looking for our best, David, and we can continue to do this. It's starting to worry me to keep the form up, but I'm going to the last, and I'm going to tip number 8. Here Comes Artie. It's only a field of 5 now. Navy Blue Buzzers come out. It's the only greyhound in the race with early speed. Has won 3 here. He's won in 29, 23. We're getting $2.80. The red's odds on, and it falls out of the box. The red just does not begin. I'm expecting Here Comes Artie to lead, and maybe to get the cash for us again, David. So good luck and good punting on a really good card of racing tonight at Sandown Park.
Like that, and again for the punters, $2.90 on the fix with Tab Touch. So Brownie, not only is he finding us the winners, but he's finding them at the black odds, which is how we like it. Beautifully done, Brownie. Appreciate your time as always. Enjoy what will be an excellent evening there tonight for launching pad night. We'll chat to you again next week.
Will do, David. Thanks, mate.
There we have it. Neil Brown joining us here on Great Greys on TAB Radio. We'll throw back to Matty McDermott. He has the divvies for us from race number 2 at Wyong.
And correct weight has arrived as well. The favourite is Oakfield Jupiter. What am I saying? The winner, Oakfield Jupiter, 210, 150. Lady Pankhurst, 104. Pearl de Chocolat, 110. Quinella, 250. Exacta, 440. Trifecta, 1130. 49, 10, 3. First 4, 28, 10. Race to race is 42.60. Numbers 8 into 4. Sub 4, 2 and 7 scratched. And Toad is paying 25 minutes to race number 3, due to go on the hour. And at $2, Reduccio is the favourite for SR3 at 11am.
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great Greys.
Well, it's time to head across to South Australia. Of course, gather round there next week. Plenty of excitement will be building, I'm sure, and plenty of great chasing as well. We've got a big 12-race program to look forward to tonight there at Angle Park. Of course, standard Gawler chasing on Friday and Sunday. We were alerted last week to the fact that Mount Gambier had their cup heats on, and it was a wonderful morning of chasing for us to get our eyeballs onto last Sunday, and tremendous lineup that has been assembled as well for their feature race of the year at Mount Gambier on Sunday once again. So we'll get the thoughts a bit deeper into the program for how we expect the cup to be run and won this year from our man. Let's welcome him in on this Thursday morning. Sean Matheson, how do you do, Sean?
Hi, David. Yeah, great to be on the show again. As you mentioned, racing in South Australia is going to be terrific over the next coming weeks and months. Obviously, as you mentioned, gather round next week. We've got heats of our Easter Cup tonight. We've got the Mount Gambier Cup final on Sunday, as you touched on, but in the next coming weeks, we've got our match race series next Thursday night into our anniversary Cup heats, into our $50,000 anniversary Cup final. So really the racing just keeps ramping up here in SA. So really looking forward to it. And tonight, as you mentioned, probably kicks off what's going to be a really wonderful month of racing.
Yeah, big style. So we'll be looking to find a winner or two on the card tonight. Some excellent chasing throughout the course of the evening. Those Easter Cup heats, we see some very much in-form chasers. Love these middle distance races of late, and there's some real in-form types, including Lincoln Girl for Cam Forshaw, who continues to front up and just get the job done. It's been racing over this middle distance trip with distinction in recent starts, winning its last 3 on the bounce. It'll go around a warm favourite, but certainly not a walk in the park. Fire Chamber for Tim Aloisi is another dog that prior to being defeated last time out by Lincoln Girl had put together a string of wins. Ethanol Extra we know is a very talented chaser on its night, and Kiki's a dog you found for us in the past that has saluted at good odds. It's won 2 of its last 5, so it'll be one of the real highlight races of the night tonight, one of those Easter Cup heats.
Oh, most definitely. And while small fields to both of them, and in the other heat, Black Silencer dominates the market there, drawing box 1 after a slashing run last week. Whilst they're small heats tonight, really high quality, but ultimately it's going to be all about the final next week. And so everything going well, to see the likes of Black Silencer, Lincoln Girl, Fire Chamber, Kenya Striker, all matching up in next week's final is going to be terrific. But I imagine they're going to run some time tonight, David, as well. The track at Angle Park has been on fire lately, and Lincoln Girl, as you touched on, she's been in red-hot form and ran sub 34 seconds last week over the 595, and really you can count them on one hand, any dogs who've broken 34 seconds on the redeveloped Angle Park, and so she is in absolute red-hot form, and I expect her to run right up to that tonight again.
And this clash tonight between Fantastic Spike, the SA Greyhound of the Year in 2024, and Bookaloo, who's just been in an absolute purple patch of form for Cam Butcher, winning 3 of its last 5 starts in some really quick times, including 30.43, 36, and last time out 30.23. It's another real highlight race on the program. Zinfandel Trace is no mug. He draws box number 1 here, but there's 3 of the more informed sprinters across there in SA at the moment. They run right into each other tonight. They're in race number 7.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, Bookaloo's really taken that next step to open class and done it in fine style, taking on the likes of a Fire and Fantastic Spike. And as you mentioned, Fantastic Spike tonight, the old campaigner who's the reigning Greyhound of the Year. And Zinfandel Trace, as you mentioned, finally has drawn a decent box for her over the 5:30, so she's going to be really hard to beat. These dogs will all be matching up next week in match races. They're all high on the order of entry based on the times they've run. So and add a fire into that mix for next week. So tonight is just the pipe opener in a race field. They'll all be one-on-one racing next Thursday night. So that's going to be really good how all that breaks down.
I'll be interested in getting your thoughts next week on who's best suited to that format. Fantastic Spike generally is a dog that can get back. You would expect that sort of format would be ideal for it. But dogs like Bookaloo have been running the times that they have in fields are going to be very difficult to run down. It's going to be very, very entertaining, that match race series.
Oh, most definitely. And the big carrot at the end of it for next Thursday night, like we do with our Group 1 Adelaide Cup Series in October, the winner of our local match race books a spot in the $50,000 Anniversary Cup final in 2 weeks' time. So the local dogs, they will be out in force. They have to have set a time to get in the match race, but you'll see all the big names locally matching up next Thursday night. And as you mentioned, it could well be a lot of them, speed and strength, the type of Bookaloo out in front with Fantastic Spike chasing, and a Fire chasing, a Masani Girl or the likes of that. It's going to be really exciting, just how it all matches up. And as mentioned, the winner gets a spot in the Anniversary Cup. So tonight, we'll get a good indication of how it's going to go, but they've all been red-hot form, so it'll be a really interesting race.
Absolutely. So lots to look forward to. Where should we be having a bet tonight there at Angle Park, Sean?
So the first of my plays will come up in race 6 for the listeners, and it's number 7, Aussie Bradford Brenda Oakey. Forget about his last start performance. He fell on the first turn when pushing forward into a forward position. He'll be fine after that. He chased them home. So 2 starts ago ran 4th behind Zinfandel Trace and was a really strong winner at Angle Park from a wide draw, defeating Mitzi Rocks in 30.78. This is a Masters race, David, so Aussie Brad's been competing against more of your mixed types, so it's a drop in class for him into this mixed Masters. The wide draw won't bother him. He'll go forward, he'll race up on speed, and he does have middle distance strength throughout his career, so I expect him to be too strong. It'd be lovely if he was sitting second out of the catching pen, and he'll just be too strong. That's where I hope to see him.
Alrighty, so Aussie Brad to be dropping on them late, race 6, number 7, second of the plays tonight.
So the plays will be on a bit of an each-way basis, and it's race 8, number 1, Ivory Pygmy, quoted around the $11 mark. Ivory Pygmy ran 5th last week in a heat, but these were time-graded heats, so effectively the first 7 dogs from one heat have all made it through to the final tonight. And so she ran 5th in her heat, but she ran 30.98 from an awkward draw. She didn't begin that well, but ran home quite well. She draws much better tonight off the inside draw. She's won 2 of her 3 starts from the inside. She'll also get plenty of room. The 2-dog Life's Bounty has speed but really wants to shift off. So I just feel like Ivory Pygmy's going to get room early to build good momentum to that first turn and be hopefully pushing up. There is speed out wide, but I just feel there could be a bit of tightening on that first turn. So I expect Ivory Pygmy to be in a really good striking position into the back straight. And at the $11, I think she's terrific value.
Indeed. Well, the double figure odds punters, a nice push there for Ivory Pygmy. Race 8, number 1 at $11. And the third of your plays tonight there to round it out at Angle Park, Sean.
Third of the plays will come up in the last race, David, and it's number 8 Langley Flyer for Lauren Harris. It's already had some support into about $2.10. This greyhound, again from a wide draw last week, had quite a lot of support and only just failed to catch the leader, showed really good speed. It's a very small field. I expect her to go forward. Probably expect the likes of Fantastic Ada drawn on her inside to show enough speed to lead, but she likes to roll away from the fence. So Langley Flyer probably into the back straight, dives into the rail, probably leading off the back, and from there should not be for catching. So she is $2.10. You probably don't want to see her too much shorter than that, but it just lines up beautifully for her tonight.
Okay, so race 12, the Fairy Floss runner Langley Flyer at the $2.10 on the fixed odds with Tab Touch to send us home a winner out of that Angle Park program. In recap, race 6, number 7, Aussie Brad, race 8, number 1, each way Ivory Pygmy at the $11, and race 12, number 8, Langley Flyer. We also have chasing to look forward to tomorrow there at Gawler, and then as we touched on, the big program there on a Sunday morning for the punters to get involved with that Mount Gambier. What should we be doing at those two cards?
So tomorrow at Gawler, I like race 9, number 2, Hot Lips for Nicole Price, over the 531 metres. She was down at Mount Gambier last Sunday, didn't have any luck after drawing wide in her heat in running 4th. Draws box 2 tomorrow at Gawler, should lead and win this event. Going to be very, very hard to catch tomorrow at Gawler. And then Mount Gambier, as you mentioned, David, a huge program for the club. Their feature meeting of the year, highlighted by race 8, the Group 3 Mount Gambier Cup final. And so I like in the final number 3 Huntsman for Robert Chuck, around that $3.60 quote in early markets, what he's quoted as. He's on the back of red hot form. He's won his last 4 starts, won his heat as the fastest qualifier in 29.61 last week when he was able to push forward and lead. Drawn 4, it's not a bad draw for him because the 3-dog and the 5-dog, they have no speed. So I feel like he'll just be able to roll forward. Aston Gozo, who is the favourite, drawn 2, again, will also drive forward. But I think Huntsman can sit outside him, be extremely hard to hold out. Darcy Dakota, we tipped Darcy Dakota last week in the heats and was heavily supported into about a $2.20 favourite. Drawn box 6 for Kerry Stagg. He's shooting for a $10,000 bonus if he can win this race, but he's going to have extreme pressure from the 7-dog on his outside, who does want to crash hard to the left. So I feel that will impact his chances. So that's why I'm leaning towards number 4 Huntsman in the big one at Mount Gambier on Sunday to get the job done for Robert Chuck, who's a local down there. So that would be a terrific local win if he can get the job done.
Absolutely, and that comes up at 12:47 Sunday afternoon if you're looking to have a pump there on the 2025 Cadillac Racing Mount Gambier Cup final. Should be a beauty. The second reserve there, Orley Bale, was pretty stiff in the heat. Like the way that it hit the line behind Darcy Dakota. It'd be one to watch out for if we could get a run, particularly off the inside, the way that it hit the line there last week.
Oh, most definitely, David. I mean, it was cutthroat last week. There was only 8 heats, 8 winners. The Grenfell kennel and also the Gibbons kennel turned up, which was wonderful to see them at the Mount Gambier circuit, but they wouldn't have had a look at the track. And Orley Bale was desperately unlucky, made a lot of ground late in the race. And as you mentioned, if it happened to get in with 2 scratchings, would definitely be one of the hardest to beat. But it's going to need a lot of luck to get in the race, let alone win it.
That's the truth, yeah, but I don't think it would have lost too many admirers like the way it finished its race off there last week. Sean, great catching up with you today, as always. We'll look forward to our chat next week. It's going to be a hot night of racing there. And with Get Around across there in South Australia, great opportunity to get some of the tourists and visitors that are in town along for a night at the Dogs, hopefully. So it'd be great to hear what's going on there trackside next Thursday. I'm sure there'll be lots going on and hopefully plenty of visitors in town dropping in for a night at Angle Park there next Thursday.
Oh, most definitely, yeah. We're looking forward to it. The last few years of Gather Round, we've been able to attract, just the extra people to the on-course, and our race offering for those coming on track is terrific, but there'll be certainly plenty of stuff to do. I know Gawler on the Friday, there's actually an event at that venue on the Friday night and on the Saturday because of the games being held in the Barossa Valley, where Gawler's located. So it's going to be quite regionally based, which is a terrific thing for Gather Round. It gets a lot of people into different areas. So really looking forward to the on-course attendance next Thursday night here at headquarters and also at Gawler on Friday.
I tell you, it's something that is so appealing to so many people now, and I love the way that South Australia have embraced it, got behind it. They're on the front foot to have it there, and it's a real winner. It's been massive for obviously AFL and AFL fans, but the flow-on effect to sports like greyhound racing for the weekend is pretty special as well. So looking forward to that next week. Good on you, Sean. Have a ripper weekend. Look forward to our chat next Thursday.
Thanks, David. Always appreciate it.
There we go. It's our man Sean Matheson across in South Australia, and yeah, plenty of excitement building across there. Matty, anything to clear from your end?
No, my end is clear, and Wyong, that's still 10 minutes away. $1.85 Reduccio is the fave.
Excellent. Let's see if we can't round out the program today with a chat to our great mate Simon Orchard. There's lots going on in his backyard as well. Of course, this Saturday night there at Wentworth Park. Holy dooly. Talk about high-quality chasing, heats of the Association Cup, semi-finals of the Golden Easter Egg, thrown in on top just as a little bit of cream on the cake. And then, of course, we've got a couple of magnificent Masters heats as well for the old stages going around, minus the Zimmer frames, still clocking some pretty slick times, some of these greybeards as well. Let's catch up with Simon now and see how it's all going. G'day, Si.
Yeah, afternoon, Shorty, afternoon, listeners. You're right, mate. Not only is Saturday night an absolute ridgy-didge night of racing, but tonight, Magic Maiden heats at Wenty Park. Sunday, the Ultra Sense heats, 10 of them, would you believe, for the fifth grade dogs as well. All roads leading to April 12, where we give away the Golden Easter Egg, the race that I still reckon most New South Wales trainers and participants grow up wanting to win. Even though it's not the highest prize money on offer, it's got so much prestige and so much history about it, mate. So looking forward to Saturday, but of course tonight as well.
Indeed, yeah. Just get you to flip around there, Si. We lost you a little bit. You're going a bit Dalek on us there, so we'll get you to flip around and hopefully clear that line up a little bit. Where there's chasing galore, right, left and centre. You've done all of the form for us. Can you help us find a winner over the next few days?
Yeah, sure. Hope so, Short. I tell you what, I've come into the office today and we've already got no reception, so I might have to go back to the home space to try and get some good stuff. Hey, if you want to have a bet today, Musselbrook 6-7 and 8-2. The best bets at Musselbrook 6-7 Real Express, 8-2 Boom Boom. They're coming up.
No, we've lost you completely there again, mate, so we'll get you to flip around again. It worked well last time, whatever you did, so we'll give that another try. So we've got Musselbrook race 6, number 7, and race 8, number 2 as the first couple of plays for our man Simon Orchard. We'll see if we can get back and try again. How are we going now, Simon? No, it doesn't look like we have much luck at all with that line. What I might do is see if I can get in contact with Simon and get a hold of his tips, and then I'll post them up on our blog page and also with our Twitter post that we do put up a little bit later on, because it doesn't look like we're having enough luck with that line, and it's I don't think it's getting better anytime soon. So I'll hit base with Simon and see if we can't source the rest of those tips for New South Wales chasing leading into what's going to be a huge night of chasing. We did touch on them earlier with the Shane Train Williams, but wonderful racing, of course, with those Magic Maiden heats as well there at Wentworth Park. They've got so much going on over the next little patch. Also earlier on, if you did miss the Shane Train, his thoughts for tonight there at Mandurah. Race 4, number 1, Liberty Star. Race 5, number 1, Linguini Minelli. Race 9, number 4, Edith Hook. Jace Campbell keeping it pretty straightforward tonight at Albion Park with race 1, number 4, Zipping Gatsby. His best is race 7, number 6, Tarawai Buster. Hobart, race 2, number 4, Nitro Ace, his best bet. Race 8, number 2, Highgate Elsie for the place. Sean Matheson at Angle Park tonight. Race 6, number 7, Aussie Brad. Race 8, number 1, Ivory Pygmy. And race 12, number 8, Langley Fly. Towards the weekend, Gawler. Race 9, number 2, Hot Lips. And Mount Gambier in the Cup, race 8, number 4, Huntsman. And the start of Simon Orchard's play there, we got Muswellbrook, race 6, number 7, and race 8, number 2. Sandown tonight, Neil Brown for launching pad night. The early quaddie, 1, 2 and 3, leg 1, 6, 4, 2, leg 2, 2, 7, 4, leg 3, home with 4, 1, 6. And the main quaddie, 4, 3 and 8, leg 1, 4, 6, 7, leg 2, 8, 1, 4, leg 3, home with 4, 8 and 2. He's saving his best until the last, race 12, number 8, Here Comes Artie. Had a look at this Mandurah program for this evening. 3 races in particular that do interest me. Race 4, number 1, a Liberty Star, a rinse and repeat from last week. With race 5 tonight, I'm going against the train. I'm pretty keen on the prospects of number 5, Junkyard Clyde, dropping out of the Kenyana Cup final. Just got a massive opinion of this dog for James Jeffries. I think he's put some really quick times on the board. I think he's got a really bright future, so pop him in your black book and just keep following it through the grades. Junkyard Clyde, I think it'll be hard to beat tonight. Race 5, number 5. And looking for a bit of value, race 11, teaming up with number 3, Chasing the Ace. This dog in this grade looks really well placed, respecting the red dog Idyllic Page, but Chasing the Ace has got a better winning hit rate, can show good early pace, and I'm expecting it to be pretty hard to beat at a decent quote there to round out the night. So 3 races for me. Race 4, number 1, Liberty Star. Race 5, number 5, Junkyard Clyde. And race number 11, dog number 3, Chasing the Ace. And what a professional he is, Simon Orchard. Unfortunately, no luck with his line today, but he has been good enough to send through the remainder of his tips. So Muswellbrook, we got race 6, 7, number 7, race 8, number 2. That's Real Express and Boom Boom. Casino, race 5, number 7, Kingsbray Pumba. At Wentworth Park for tonight, race 4, number 2, Destroying. And we round it out with a Wentworth Park on Saturday night, race 4, number 1, Groove Bird. Race 7, number 9 in Poor Petrov, and race 8, number 1 in Sunset Hornet. So that's all to look forward to there on a busy night of chasing at Wentworth Park on a Saturday. It should be an absolute beauty. It's a big night of chasing in store there. So 4, 1, 7, 9 and 8, 1. That brings to a close Great Greys on this Thursday morning. Thanks as always for your company here on TAB Radio. We'll be back tomorrow morning having a chat to Digby and Tim from around about 25 minutes to 7, going through all of the Tab Touch specials and the like for this upcoming weekend. And then looking forward to teaming up with Peter O'Neill and Jesse Earnshaw for Chasing Winners. We'll have a look at the Friday night Mandurah card, and then a Lou Dawson Memorial Trophy final night at Cannington on Saturday night. Promises to be a wonderful card. We'll also, as always, put up all of those tips on the Tab Touch blog, as we will for Great Greys today, and then also tomorrow the Tab Touch Jet Set crew will have all of the tips from the team for the programs. Mandurah Friday, Cannington Saturday, and then of course I'll throw in some tips as well for the Meadows and Wentworth Park on Saturday night. It's all ahead over the next couple of days, but a huge thank you as always to our man Matt McDermott, doing a wonderful job there at the Tab Radio headquarters. To everybody tuned in, wishing you all many winners for this Thursday, and look forward to bringing those programs to you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Great catching up with you, Matty. Enjoy the remainder of your Thursday, mate. We'll see you in there tomorrow morning.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.